Gurza.
Here.
Osterloo.
Yeah, I'm here.
Gingslinger.
Here.
Lumby.
Here.
Penny.
Abstaining from 13. All right, let's talk about the approved agenda, approving the agenda. I have a feeling that we should be approving lots that are covered by that, master plan. Anybody got a problem doing that?
I do believe the previous master plan did follow that layout.
Well, was it approved for the first master plan, correct? The layout?
That portion of it was,
Okay.
yes.
Then I don't see any reason to change it.
Okay. Do I hear a motion? Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign, motion carries. Let us take a look at the minutes for the May 24th meeting. Any additions or corrections?
Move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that the minutes for the May 24th meeting be approved as presented. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign, motion is carried.
Penny, were you the second?
Next item on the agenda is scheduled a meeting for June, been seconded that the blanket for the next meeting be set for June 28th. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign, motion carries. Item 7, Justin Adams at 1021 University Boulevard has applied for a front yard variance of 20 feet versus 25, as required to remove an existing garage and replace it with a new one at 1021 University Boulevard, legally described as Lot 5, Block 11, and the east half of the vacated alley abutting Lot 5, University addition to the city of Mitchell, South Dakota. The property is owned R2 single family. Talk to us, please, about what's going on there.
Yep, as you can see, the applicant would like to remove and replace the garage and is requesting a variance. I'm not sure, is Justin here? So Justin is here for any questions you may have.
Yeah, how big is this addition?
So, basically on the picture there, if you guys.
Why don't we come up to the.
You guys have the drawing in front of you there. So it'll be 24 feet wide, and it'll come out from the front of the house 26 feet. So it'll be actually about 3 feet into the 25-foot variance.
So I noticed that on your east side there, you have a little jog that goes out. How far back, or is that a setback from your property line?
I do not know that measurement.
So when you plan this out, how far does that stick out from that, front of that house?
The garage currently?
Yeah, no, now, that
Yeah.
you're gonna design it to. Okay, you got that corner, your, that'll be your southeast corner.
Okay.
That little jog out there, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so your new garage, how far is that gonna stick towards the street?
From the jot out, I don't know. From the inside portion of it there, it will, from that corner, yep, from that corner there, that's on the north side.
That's a long way.
If I built the garage to stick out 23 feet from that point is where I would be at for my 25-foot variance from the road, or from the lot line, sorry.
And you see a little trouble with that?
With a 23-foot garage?
Yeah.
Yes, getting my pickup in there would be very tight.
So you got two pickups then, one for both sides then, is that
No,
correct?
I have a one pickup and a vehicle, just a regular SUV.
But is this gonna be a double garage then?
Correct.
you able to bring up the Google Maps or something so we can see the site? The aerial's not completely clear.
Well, when I drove by it, I thought the front of it, if you could match the front of the house over there, you know, that one jog out there, but, you're going quite a ways out there. I'm cut off on this one here. How many feet do you got between this point to this point?
To the end of the, it'd be about 14 feet.
So that's not where you can park your pickup then at all?
No, part of that will be like a work area for workbench, and we're gonna actually add another bedroom on the back side of that as well.
So, John, you got a drawing of all this stuff for what he's gonna do?
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't got a plan submitted for building plan. So far, this is, you know, got to meet zoning, that's all I've seen. I haven't really seen this plan. If it clears the variance, then I'll get a plan that it'll have to meet whatever you guys agree upon.
And at this point with your drawing, you're gonna make the side yard setback?
Yes.
What's your pleasure, folks?
Part of the building that sticks out towards the street, that includes the overhang, correct?
Yes, that would be to the overhang. Yep.
Is this on a corner lot?
No.
No.
It appears that, if I'm not mistaken, Joe, is it a little bit of a radius up front, or is it all square?
This is all on the radius.
That's, yeah. It actually gets wider towards the front of
Can you
the
zoom
lot.
out a little bit? See the neighboring properties?
Okay, so if you can't get your pickup in the garage in that spot, then how you gonna park in your driveway without blocking the sidewalk?
If I build a garage, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if you build a garage and 21 feet away and you can't get your pickup in that space, then you start blocking the sidewalk if you park your outside.
Correct, but if I build the garage to the measurements, I will be able to park in my garage.
Right,
Right,
but sometimes you don't always do that.
right, and then I would park on the street if I don't park in the garage.
And the street is one way.
Yeah, that's a one-way up there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that original subdivision was laid out rather strangely. Way back when. How wide is your lot?
I do not remember offhand.
The blocking the sidewalk question, he should have a typical parking space, 20-foot wide, before the property line, and the sidewalk will be on the other side of the property line. So if you're looking at a typical parking space, he would satisfy that if his vehicle is parked right up to the garage.
And if I'm not mistaken, if I remember right, and I didn't go up and look at this, but that side of the street doesn't have any sidewalk, because the sidewalk's out in the middle of the boulevard, isn't it, on both sides?
Yeah,
Yes, it
there
appears
is a
that way.
sidewalk in the boulevard in the center,
Yeah.
but there is a sidewalk on the other side, on the Court Merrill side too. So,
And we're just looking at future sidewalk, because there very well could be sidewalk put in adjacent to that property.
haven't heard any opposition. I talked to the lady that lives to the north of me, and she had no concerns with anything. Her driveway is obviously out the alley side of it, so she really had nothing negative to say about it.
Yeah, that subdivision, we've run into this, not recently, but years back, and it's laid out differently than most in the city.
And unfortunately, I can't do anything on the back side of my house to build a garage because I don't have alley access from either end because it was abandoned.
Yeah. What's your pleasure, folks?
Everything deserves a vote, so I'm gonna move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the variance. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. Roll call, please.
Jirza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
No.
Kingslinger,
Yes.
Malumbi,
Yes.
Penny,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Passes 6-1.
Next item on the agenda, variance requested by Miller Lumber at 722 and 724 West Pine. Applied for a backyard variance of 20 feet versus 25 is required to build a twin home at 722 and 724 West Pine. Legally described as Lot 3 in the west 38 feet of Lot 4, Block 6, MLC addition, a subdivision of Lot 4 and 4B, 4A and 4B, Block 4, Morningview addition, City of Mississippi, County, South Dakota. The property is zone PD Plan Development District.
If you remember, we recently had a variance similar to this in the same area.
Probably right next door, wasn't it?
Yep. So same situation, variance for the backyard.
Plan Development District, we should have planned that as a 20-footer instead of the 25, I think. Because it looks to me like there's gonna be a couple more in there the same way. That's just my opinion. Discussion.
Bob, is this the same 6 inches we talked about last time? Is this the same 6 inches you're looking for that we talked about the last time you were here?
Is it the same layout as your other one?
Yes, it is. Basically, I'm Bob Muller from Muller Lumber. What that is, it's on the north side of West Pine, and it butts up against the property off of Norway. Some of those lots, the old, or not the old, but the existing lots off of Norway had 150-foot set depth, and some of them had 140, some 135, and so this will be the only other one that requires that variance. There will be no more, because all of the lots beyond on the south side of West Pine are regular. We had some irregularity because of purchases of more than 130 feet off Norway.
So this new lot here is 16 foot shallower than the one that you just had a variance on the other one, correct?
I don't have the other one. This is, let me see.
Well,
This lot butts up against one that the Baldwin family had, and they had 150 feet, I think it was.
You're there, Terry? Yep.
Oh, right here is beyond this master plan.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring the plat on.
Yeah, I went out and looked at that yesterday, and as far as the side yard setbacks, there's plenty of room between the existing and what's proposed.
So you
But I
could,
see where the backyard is becomes a problem, and it's not Bob's lot's problem. It's the one coming off of Norway.
So you could have designed a double duplex or a duplex like this to meet the setbacks.
Well, it
The
would,
side yard.
Side
You
yard
have
and
plenty of
everything
side
is fine.
yards in that. Huh?
Side yard and everything is fine.
Well, yeah, more than enough, but
so the depth goes from 25 down to 20. And I guess
What's your overhang gonna be, Bob?
2 foot overhang.
2-footer?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded that the variance as requested be approved. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. Let's go roll call, please.
Jirza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
yes.
Kingslinger,
Yes.
Malumbi,
Yes.
Penny,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
thank
Motion
you.
carries. Let's go on to the next one. A recommendation of Marshall Street vacation south of Birch Avenue between Foster and Taylor Streets.
As you can see by the aerial, there are encroachments in that. There is no use from the public except for trailer park use. There are no city utilities. There may be some fiber or utility company utilities, which they'll retain the easement for the easement for those. And this is a recommendation for council.
Well, I will state my opinion as I have before on vacation and give up city street right away. I don't think it's a good idea, but that's just my opinion.
In this situation, Public Works does support the vacation, just because we don't see the need for the right-of-way going south anytime in the near future, especially with the location of Dry Run Creek there, and that property being owned by a private individual to the south.
Yeah, there's a big draw there, and the creek runs through. I live just a couple of blocks north of this site, so I'm real familiar with it. And there is a big draw there, and the creek and the railroad tracks run down through the bog.
So since it's a city, do we maintain that then at all, or is it, since it's private, more?
We have not been maintaining it.
And it leads to nothing.
What's that?
It leads to nothing to the south.
Correct.
Is it gravel, asphalt?
Gravel.
Yeah, gravel. Well, I'll make a motion to vacate it.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the vacation be recommended to the council to approve. Discussion on the motion.
It appears that there's a driveway going south off of that street. This, vacated, if it's vacated, does that property have access to that?
I believe that property to the south accesses off of Wallace, because he did sign for the vacation as well.
Further discussion? Hearing none, we are ready to vote. Roll call, please.
Jirza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Kingslinger,
Yes.
Malumbi,
Yes.
Penny,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson.
No. All right, let's go on to the next one. A plat of Lot 5C, Block 7, Westwood First Edition, a subdivision of the southwest quarter of Section 16, T-10360, west of the 5th parallel meridian, City of Mitchell, Davison County, South Dakota.
As you can see, this is kind of a landlocked parcel. I've been notified that the person purchasing this property has either purchased or recently purchased the property to the east and the south. And with that, I guess, are there any questions?
Anybody from the audience got any comments on this one?
I've been told there is no intention of building anything on this lot, so we do not have any elevation certificate requirements. If a building permit would ever come up, we would put them on this property at this time, and the purchaser does know this.
Is it the same owner on 5B, lot 5B?
Is that the one directly to this?
To the north there?
Oh. So I believe they have, it's to extend that access easement.
It's just an extension, it's not placing a new one? It appears to be a new one.
That'd be to the back, to the north, to the property to the north. This access easement would be to grant access to this
Right.
property.
Right. The easement shown to the east of that new easement is already in place.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's just a 27 by 27 square.
Right.
That's new.
Yep.
That's my concern, is if this property was sold off later and somebody
Yeah.
did decide to build there, we're in trouble.
The easements are there for access, I guess,
Yeah.
is why they put that box in there. So there'd always be an access easement for them to access that lot.
So who owns the property directly to the north of this property?
It'd be Chuck's. The new building that's going on right now is this one here.
Right.
So this would all still be owned by Chuck, I believe.
Oh, yeah. to
And it's
the-
not platted at this point?
No.
It's all one big
Right.
parcel.
That's CGM.
Move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that this plat be of recommended approval. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Next item. A plat of lots 8 and 10 of Park Acres First Edition in the southeast quarter of Section 6, 103 North, 60 West of the 5th PM. Okay, what do we got going on that?
It is my understanding that the individual who owns the property between those proposed plats is purchasing those two. And there is no intention to place any structures on those lots at this point. So with that, there's no elevation certificate requirements for the property. And with that, we'll open it up to any questions.
Anybody here in the audience got to talk to us about that?
I don't think the homeowners here, I represent them. I'm Chuck Macheski with Mitchell Realty. Their comments to me were they just wanted to make their yard bigger and not wanting any future neighbors, so that's why they offered to purchase both lots on either side of their home.
They're on 9, in other words.
They're on 9. They've had an existing home there for a couple of years.
They must be young if they want to mow that much.
What's that?
They
Yeah.
must be young. if
They've
they
got
want-
kids, yeah. They've got plenty.
Well, if they got kids, they need 7 and 6
Yep.
too.
Less for us to mow, you bet.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the plat be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign, motion is carried. Okay, next item on the agenda. I should tear my agenda page off so I don't have to turn back and forth. A plat of lots 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 of Block 2, Lot 7, Block 3, and West Plum Avenue, all located in MLC Addition, a subdivision of lots 4B, Block 4, and Block 5, Morning View Addition to the city of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota.
So as you can see, this is a lot or a portion of plats that are adjacent to South Miller. So I've requested a few things from the developer in this area. I did request an updated drainage plan for the area, as well as a set of plans with a timeline for completion of the proposed detention pond. With that, I have received the updated drainage plan. However, I would recommend that we table this plat until the plans have been submitted and approved for the detention pond.
Okay, where's that rascal going?
This is the new layout that'll be, I'm recommending approval for in the next item, and you can see the location of the pond.
Okay.
So Jay, you were talking about that street, so instead of it way on the south side, they got the Plum Avenue, which would make it easy access all the way around, so.
And was also pointed out that if we, of course, in the subdivision that's to the east, at the time that came in, we recommended a street come through there because there was no access in case of fire to the west. And we recommended that they put that little 42-footer in there, and that's why that's there. With Plum going in, that makes a whole bunch of difference compared to what we looked at in the past. But I still kind of like that 42-foot wide street alongside of the. So you're thinking we ought to table this one until we look at the next one? Is that what you're telling us?
I'm saying we table until we have the plans for the detention pond.
Okay.
Right now, that the area that drains into there, basically, it serves as a retention pond versus a detention pond. I know they will frequently go and pump it out with trash pumps. So yes, that is what I am recommending.
Okay.
Move to table.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we table at this time. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Let's go on to item 13, approval of the master plan. We have the master plan laid out there, which shows where the detention pond is going. There's an access easement, 20-footer, headed in there. Obviously, the Block 6 is owned by someone else.
Right.
So we know why the 42 street, or at least I explained to it my memory of the 42-foot street to the west, which absolutely had to be put in there because there was no access for fire or street repair work. So if you were living in that other division, you had no way out. That's why we requested that little street be put in there. I had visions in my mind at that time that little street would go clear along the interstate there, but I guess it's not what the owners of the property want at this time. Why don't you talk to us about what you're planning there, Bob, on what you're looking at?
What we want is this change in the master plan. And I agree with Mr. Schroeder, we need to table this for now. I've been working with SBN on the retention pond for some time, and Friday afternoon, this is what I received, and it's not to my way of understanding what's going to happen. It's close, but I don't want this to be approved.
Oh,
at
You'd
this
like to
time.
wait on the master plan as well?
Yep, I'd like to wait on the master plan as well right now until we get this pond.
Okay.
We sure
If
don't have a
that's-
problem with that.
No, that makes sense.
And Bob, have them think about that 42
Second.
footer on the south side there by the interstate.
You mean clear up against
Yeah.
Plum Street as we come off of where the retention
Yep,
pond is? Plum Street,
has the access there.
that's 55, isn't it? It's not 42?
Yeah,
And I've been in conversation with the owner to the south,
okay.
and
So let's table it and wait.
so we'd like to have that be a 66-foot street all the way through.
Yep. Yep.
Art, did you have any comments?
Yeah,
You'd
Mark,
like to-
planning and zoning. Plum Avenue will have to be approved by LEPC before the plat can be finalized. They have to approve all street names in town. Our next meeting will be July 14th for that. You have approved them in the past contingent on LEPC approving them, so shouldn't stop that. The other thing is, we do have a drainage line that goes through part of this development that comes from the north. So we just wanna make sure that we don't run into that and have any issues. The inlet of that is at Andy Mintel's shop right there. That's where that starts, and there is some pooling in that area, so we wanna make sure that it does continue all the way through. I know you've done a lot of townhouses out there with no basement, so in digging wise, we just wanna make sure it continues.
Yep, it does. It goes underneath Pine Street.
Okay, well, you probably didn't hear it, but I had a motion to table, and it was seconded.
I got a second.
That was
For this.
for this. Discussion.
Got some work to do there. looks like.
Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Other business to come before this body at this time.
Thank you.
Hearing none, public input. If you need to talk to the City Planning Commission on an item that is not on the agenda, excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium, state your name and your concern. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time. Hearing none, seeing none, we are adjourned.